Welcome back everybody. This is part 29 on What If Kid Asta Meets Noelle's Mother. I do not own Black Clover or any of the characters in this video. They belong to their own respected authors. Chapter 38. Wind Magic. Towering Tornado. Mimosa watched in awe as Yuno's spell came from behind the eye of the Midnight Sun mages and swept them off of their feet. Whoa, Mimosa thought. Yuno has become a lot stronger since the last time we were together on a mission. That spell he just used may be his most basic attack spell, but it appeared from behind those enemy mages. Was that the use of Mana Zone just now? If so, that was pretty cool. These guys are a waste of my time. Yuno scowled as he continued to advance through the eye of the Midnight Sun HQ, with Mimosa and Klaus behind him. Come on Mimosa, Klaus. Let's get to the center of this HQ to get the magic stones, then get out of here. Do you even know where the center of this base is? Klaus questioned, following Yuno anyway. I do, Yuno replied. I'm following the High Mana Trail. That's where the center is. That's where we'll find the stone tablet containing the magic stones. Yes, that does make sense, Mimosa agreed. Want me to put up my magic flower guidepost to help? Not necessary, Yuno replied as he used another towering tornado to bust through the rock wall, thus revealing the corridor to the central point of the base. We're already here, just gotta get down this corridor. Wait up for me, Klaus called after the two, who were getting further and further away from him. Oi, not so fast. Then don't be so slow, sir, Yuno retorted, not turning around when speaking to Klaus. A tick mark appeared above Klaus's head, but began to run faster nonetheless. Just as the three reached the center point and where the stone tablet was, Yuno gasped upon noticing a black-haired man, wearing Spade Kingdom military clothes standing in front of the tablet. Wah, the black-haired man turned around to look at the three royal knights. His sharp blue eyes glistened from the light emanating above them from someone. Hello there, he spoke, a hidden sadistic smile on his face. You're Mimosa began. Zenon Zogratis, Yuno growled out. I am, yes, Zenon replied. And what brings a bunch of weak mages to the eye of the Midnight Sun's HQ? We could be asking you the same thing, Klaus retorted. I have no reason to tell a bunch of fools trying to play the hero, Zenon remarked coldly before he chuckled darkly. But if you must know, I'm here under Mother's orders, waiting for Patri's return from the Clover Kingdom with Mother. His dark smile widened a tad. Although, you Golden Dawn fools had no idea about what was behind your captain's mask, did you? What do you mean? Klaus questioned skeptically. Captain William is a kind-hearted magic knight captain. He cares about all of his squad members, as well as the Clover Kingdom. Oh, does he? Zenon remarked coolly before he shrugged. I dunno. He might end up killing that wizard king of yours, as well as that Elysia elf tribe leader visiting your kingdom. Wouldn't that just be tragic? His dark smile widened even further. And we can't forget the Clover Kingdom Queen Asir Silva. She'll die too. Zenon, Yuno roared, his mana angrily flaring around him. Oh, Zenon smiled darkly. Did that set you off? Perhaps I should telepathically tell Mother to spare Ren just so I can kill Ren myself. I'll make sure that I do it nice and slow so she can experience every last bit of pain and agony. Klaus, Mimosa, and Belle all gasped, quickly looking to Yuno, whose mana began to darken as his anger increased. Yuno wait, Mimosa began to shout. Too late, Zenon remarked coldly. What's happening to Yuno's mana? Klaus demanded. Get back, both of you, Belle yelled to them. Where can they possibly go? Wind Spirit, Zenon questioned nonchalantly. You know as well as I do that they won't leave the Spade Kingdom Prince, Yuno Grinburial, alone in this room. Belle scowled at Zenon, but before she could even retort, there was a sudden chill in the air, making them gasp and quickly look at Yuno. Listen up Zenon, Yuno declared. I'm putting an end to you right now. He raised and swiped his right hand from left to right. Wind magic, towering tornado, like before. Yuno's spell came from behind Zenon and spun towards him. Zenon on the other hand, remaining right where he was. He closed his eyes out of sheer shame for Yuno. Bone magic, bone tornado. Zenon spoke nonchalantly. A tornado made of bones appeared and intercepted, as well as shredded Yuno's wind magic tornado to wine magic particles. No way, Klaus gasped, stepping back. It may have been one of Yuno's most basic attacks, but still, towering tornado packs quite a punch if you're hit by it. Clearly you're a fool who only looks at the pure power of a spell, Zenon told Klaus nonchalantly. Is that right? Yuno asked as his physical appearance began to slowly change. Two feathered wings sprouted from Yuno's back, one green and one black. A halo appeared above Yuno's head, one half green, and the other half black, the devil contract mark circling around the left side of Yuno's forehead and around his left eye glowed black to the 6 o'clock marking. Yuno's left eye's color became red and a slit. Then let me show you my strength. With both spirit magic and devil magic as my extensions, Zenon observed Yuno's new form with interest. I see. So you combine natural and unnatural magic to create this form, Zenon thought, but even so, devil power, 50%, Yuno declared, plus spirit dive, Zenon observed with interest, while Klaus and Mimosa began to back up. I think we should stay out of this, Klaus sir, Mimosa told him. Too late, Zenon remarked coldly. Spatial magic, spatial mana domination, just as the cube of spatial magic mana began to surround them. Too late, Zenon remarked coldly. Spatial magic, spatial mana domination, just as the cube of spatial magic mana began to surround them. Time magic, Chrono Devil altar. Yuno thought, with that, Yuno has manipulated his own body so that it moves in a way in which the flow of time is no longer in sync with his body, allowing for incredible bursts of speed as well as increased offensive and defensive potential. So that spell allowed him to keep using his magic, despite my spatial mana domination in play now. Zenon thought. He closed his eyes and smiled. As expected from the Prince of the Spade Kingdom's royal house Grinburial, Zenon spoke. I'll make this quick, Yuno remarked as a sword made of wind appeared in his right hand. Wind spirit creation magic, spirit of Zephyr. Now take this. In a flash, Yuno was right in front of Zenon. Just as Yuno swung his wind spirit magic sword, a dome of bones appeared and blocked his attack. Bone creation magic. Bone phalanx, Zenon spoke nonchalantly. Yuno chid and leapt back from Zenon. That bone dome shields him from my attacks. Yuno thought, well, that's fine. I'll just destroy it with Astaroth's time magic. Bone magic, eternal fangs. Zenon nonchalantly spoke as several bone fangs rose out of the ground around Yuno and headed towards the now defenseless Klaus and Mimosa thanks to his spatial magic. Spatial mana domination spell. Klaus and Mimosa tried to cast spells to defend themselves, but couldn't due to Zenon's spatial magic. Spatial mana domination spell. Our magic. Its Klaus began. Useless. Mimosa finished. Just as eternal fangs reached the two, several blue orbs stopped them. Yuno. Klaus breathed. Zenon gaped softly, then smiled darkly as the blue orbs disappeared. Along with his eternal fangs, in a flash of light, Yuno was standing in front of Klaus and Mimosa. Just as I thought, Zenon spoke coldly. Even though you've gotten a power boost and a new magic attribute thanks to that devil contract with the time magic, devil ruler of the underworld Astaroth, you still defend your friends. Why not just let them die? They are in your way of victory against me or anyone. His dark smile widened. No matter. I'll just do what I told Mother I'd do if I ever came across you again. Kill you? You can try? Yuno retorted as he raised his right hand up. But you will fail. Wind spirit magic. Spirit storm. A beam of wind magic appeared behind Zenon's bone dome and flew straight towards it, while Yuno flew towards the front end of the bone dome Zenon was in. A pincer attack. Klaus breathed. Amazing. Mimosa added before frowning. But Zenon doesn't seem worried at all. To prove this, the bone dome that protected Zenon exploded from the two incoming forces of wind spirit magic, spirit storm, and Yuno stabbing right through Zenon's chest with his spirit of Zephyr sword. Alright, Yuno got him, Mimosa cheered. We shall see. Klaus frowned. The smoke from Yuno's attacks began to clear. As soon as the smoke cleared, it revealed Yuno had stabbed Zenon through the chest. The youngest child of Avazogratis had a dark smile on his face, blood trickling down from his mouth signifying that he had coughed up blood from Yuno's attack. Not bad, Spade Prince, Zenon remarked, causing Yuno to gape softly. But if you think that's enough to defeat me, you're sorely mistaken. He grabs Yuno's wind magic sword and thrusts it out of his body, thus causing Yuno to stagger back from the force of the push. Then Zenon's grimoire turns a few pages before glowing a whitish-black color, bone recovery magic, bone patchwork, and with that, the wound Yuno inflicted on Zenon healed up. After they did, Zenon punched his chest with his right hand's fist, hard. He felt no pain as a result. Thanks to my bone recovery magic, bone patchwork spell, I'm fully healed from your feeble attacks. In addition, thanks to my devil power, the strength of the healed bones has also increased, as well as the rest of the bones in my body. In other words, it'll be much harder for you to injure me. Yuno grunted in irritation. Chi, perhaps, Yuno admitted, but in the end, I'll beat you. You'll see. Oh, Zenon wondered aloud in slight disinterest. I suppose you can try if you want. I will. Yuno shot back, wind magic, crescent moon sickle. A crescent moon formed out of Yuno's wind magic and flew towards Zenon. Zenon didn't move and allowed himself to be hit by it. Unfortunately for Yuno, his spell did not damage Zenon at all. Is that all you got? Zenon questioned bluntly. If so, then you'll die before you can witness the world's ascension. Quiet, Yuno snapped. Wind magic, gale white bow, plus wind spirit magic, Sylph's breath. A bow and several wind arrows appeared in front of Yuno before the wind bow fired each of the arrows towards Zenon, followed by a large amount of wind spirit magic to be blown towards Zenon. Just as the two spells from Yuno reached Zenon, Zenon closed his eyes and spatial magic, Nihility Fist. His fists imbued with spatial magic, he punched right through the wind magic arrows and wind spirit magic tornado with ease. Thus they dissipated, as well as the wind magic arrow Yuno used to fire the wind magic arrows. Yuno gasped in response. Wow, is that all you got? Zenon questioned, unimpressed. If this is all you got, then you'll never beat me. Yuno clenched his hands into fists. My wind magic isn't doing much of anything, Yuno thought. In that case, Yuno flew up into the air and raised his left arm up before thrusted his left hand forward. Time magic, chrono scratch, Yuno declared. Several clock hands appeared and flew towards Zenon. Like Yuno, Zenon also flew upwards and towards Yuno, bone sword in hand. Zenon slashed through the clock hands, while punching the other ones with spatial magic imbued free hand. Although, destroying the clock hands from Yuno's time magic spell this way caused a shock to course through Zenon's body every time he did so. But these shocks didn't seem to bother Zenon at all. Damn it, Yuno thought. I need to hit him harder, and faster too. Are you done? Zenon asked bluntly, clearly losing interest in this fight between the two of them. Chi-chi. Wind creation magic. Wind blade shower. Yuno declared as several wind magic blades appeared around him and flew towards Zenon at high speed. Bone magic. Bone tornado. A tornado of bones appeared in front of Zenon, thus blocking Yuno's spell once again. Yuno grit his teeth in frustration. None of my attacks are getting through, Yuno growled. Come on, you may be strong and tough for someone on your level, Zenon replied coldly, but my family and I are in a league above you. Chi-chi. Zenon raised his free hand up and clenched it into a fist. Let me show you just how pathetic you are, Zenon coldly remarked as two horns sprouted out of his head, one white and one black, as well as two wings sprouting out of his back. His devil mark glowed black. Devil power, 55. At that, both Mimosa and Klaus began to shiver. Such cold mana, Mimosa breathed. Damn it, Klaus clenched his teeth. And because of Zenon's spatial mana domination spell in play, we can't help Yuno. It's fine. With Chronodevil Alder still active, I can avoid his attacks, Yuno thought. I see the look in your eyes, Zenon spoke, snapping Yuno out of his thoughts. You think you still have a chance to defeat me, but you don't. At your level, you and everyone you care about will die, either by my hand or by the rest of my family. Zenon's blue and red eyes widened, as well as his lips curving up and into a dark, sadistic smile. If I was to compare us to Pokemon, and each % of devil power equals 1 level, then that means, taking my maximum devil power of 80%, that means I'm level 80 in Pokemon terms against I'd say 3 level 35s. All 3 Golden Dawns grit their teeth in anger, while Yuno clenched his Spirit of Zephyr sword in his right hand. What did you say? Klaus grit his teeth. That power is terrifying, Mimosa added. Combined, you 3 would equal level 105, Zenon continued, ignoring Klaus and Mimosa. But you 3 simply are too weak to beat me, even if I dropped my spatial mana domination spatial magic spell now. It'd make no difference. Yuno narrowed his eyes and raised his Spirit of Zephyr up to fend off anything Zenon might try. I can do this, Yuno spoke softly to himself. Oh, can you? Yuno gasped, looking up to see Zenon standing right in front of him. It's as I said, Spade Prince. If you can't defeat me, what hope do you have of protecting those you care about? His dark smile returned. Someone like the Elysia elf tribe leader Renombra. Yes, killing her right in front of you will be a glorious sight. Oh no. Klaus and Mimosa, thought panicked, seeing Yuno bare his teeth in fury. Why you? Yuno growled. Zenon, perfect. Zenon thought. Yuno, stop. He's trying to provoke you. Klaus yelled. Too late, Zenon remarked coldly as Yuno charged towards him. Spatial magic, energy drain. At his call, An orb of spatial magic surrounded Yuno and began to weaken him, thus draining him and distorting Yuno's chronodevil altar, as well as his spirit dive. At his call, an orb of spatial magic surrounded Yuno and began to weaken him, thus draining him and distorting Yuno's chronodevil altar, as well as his spirit dive. Yuno felt his devil power, 50% form also began to fade, and his devil contract mark's color began to return to normal. What? Yuno raised his shaking hands up to his face. But why? He suddenly gasped and coughed up blood. He looked down and noticed a bone sword going through his chest. Ah, it's as I said. Zenon spoke coldly, deactivating his devil power, 55% form and removing his bone sword from Yuno's body. Then with a shove with his free hand, he made Yuno fly backwards and into Klaus and Mimosa, thus knocking the two down. His spatial mana domination spell also dissipated. After that, Zenon turned around to face the stone tablet. Yuno, Mimosa knelt next to him. Come on, please Yuno. She felt herself tearing up. You can't die. Not yet. Now get out of my sight. You pathetic excuses for royal knights. Zenon spoke coldly, snapping his fingers and creating a spatial portal underneath the three. Thus they went through it. Soon thereafter, the spatial portal closed. Regardless if I killed Yuno or not, I'd say his chances of survival are low, and his chances of facing me again will also be low. Assuming he's dead already. If not, he opened his sharp blue eyes, which flashed a bit. Then I'll simply make sure to kill him, permanently. Mereoleona, how come you chose me for your team? Mereoleona and Dazu walked through the corridors of the Eye of the Midnight Sun's headquarters. I chose you because I know of your strength, Mereoleona replied as the two continued to walk. You do? Dazu blinked. I do. Mereoleona nodded. The strength of your catalyst magic is determined by how many mages are around you. She stopped walking and turned to face the shorter woman, putting her right fist on Dazu's forehead, surprising the Blickhead a bit. But with training and hard work, you will be able to call upon mana around you to aid you in battle. Though you've done this before, you haven't done it enough yet. She removed her right fist from Dazu's forehead. Come on, we should be nearing an area that can lift us up to the center area. Once we do, we will find the stone tablet. After that, she pounded her right fist into her left palm. We'll take the magic stones and destroy the stone tablet. Yon, nice plan. Too bad I'm going to stop the two of you. The two turned their attention back to what's in front of them. Dazu's eyes widened slightly at who stood in front of them. You're Raya, the disloyal. Dazu breathed. Ah, so you remember me. Raya smiled lazily before yawning again. Regardless, I cannot let you two go any further. At that, Mereoleona just grinned. Oh, is that right? She remarked. Then we'll just demolish you. Ready, Dazu? The Blickhead woman nodded. Yeah, Dazu agreed. Her grimoire now in front of her, followed by Mereoleona's crimson-red three-leaf clover grimoire, and lastly, Raya's dark blue three-leaf clover grimoire floated in front of the last remaining third eye, member of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Speaking of the third eye, Raya's third eye opened up on his forehead. A dark smile spread across his face, preparing for the battle ahead. So, you came to the Wizard King's aid, Queen Asir Silva, Patry remarked coolly before turning to face Ren. And a friend too. His eyes widened slightly upon noticing the elf ears Ren had. But, why would an elf side with you disgusting humans? He clenched his hands into his fists. Why? Ren was silent before walking up to fully face Patry, making him flinch in surprise. I take it you're Patry? She asked. Patry regained his composure and nodded. I am, yes, Patry replied. I see, Ren remarked, before smiling to their surprise. Good to know. Oh, Faye grinned. Slap. Asir and Julius gaped by the swift and harsh slap Ren inflicted to Patry across his face. The force sent him flying, while Faye laughed. Ha ha ha. 10 points. Faye cheered. Phew. That felt good. Ren sighed, dusting her hands with her sword in her arm. Ava watched in amusement. Ha, nice slap, Ava commented. I wanted to do that to him for so long for his idiocy. Oh well, the cost I have to pay for allying with him. Cut the crap on the allying nonsense. Ren glared darkly at Ava. We both know you don't ally with anyone, only use them as pawns. Ava chuckled in amusement at Ren's words. Ren then turned to Patry, who sat up, wincing while holding his cheek. Now get up, brat. I'll teach you manners for using my grandfather's name, she retorted. Chi-chi. Patry grunted, standing up. The hell are you talking about? Licht will be brought back like all the other elves. Once that happens, all the humans will die. Simple as that. And it's something they deserve. Why side with such a race that manipulates whoever they want? a tick mark appeared on Ren's head, and with her sheathed sword, she hit Patri's gut, making him cough and sent flying again. Julius and Aesir opened their mouths in surprise again. While Ava just laughed in amusement, Patri grunted in irritation as he slammed into the wall of a building. He rubbed his head with one of his hands, then looked up at Ren, Queen Aesir, and Julius, dazed slightly. 20 points. Faye cheered. Spoken truly like an immature brat. Ren scowled. Looks like I'll have to drill discipline into your tiny little brain. Yes, says the traitor to her own kind. Patri retorted, standing up and brushing debris off of his clothes. How ignorant and blind to not see me as what I am. Ren scoffed. You truly are a little brat, though then again, you were 15 when you died, so you're still going through your angst teenager phase, but then again, Asta is much more mature than you. What? Patri grit his teeth. How the hell is that magicless thief more mature than me? He doesn't act like a fanboy fanatic who clearly hasn't grown up. Ren deadpanned, making Faye laugh harder and Julius and Aesir to gape. Ooh, burn. Ava snickered. Shut up. Patri snapped. She's not wrong, you know. Ava countered, snickering in amusement. Regardless, I am interested in one thing. She turned to face Queen Aesir. I want to see if what Vanica told me about you is true, that you're the strongest mage in the entire Clover Kingdom. Aesir, can I leave her to you? Ren asked, not looking at the queen. Aesir nodded. I was about to suggest you help Julius against Patri. Queen Aesir agreed, turning to face Ava. Good to know, Ren said, looking at Patri, which gives me a chance to educate this mouthy little brat. Wait, Julius spoke up. Patri and William's souls are inhabiting the same body. If we kill Patri, we kill William. I cannot afford that. Ah yes, goody two-shoes Wizard King thinks he can save William. Patri sneered. What if I told you that William doesn't want to be saved? Hey, doesn't change the plan. Ren smirked, raising her sheathed sword. I'll just discipline you both, and think of it this way, Julius. This way you won't have to punish William later, for he'll be firmly taught a lesson. Oh, this should be interesting. Faye grinned, flying at Ren's side. You seem to misunderstand, Patri remarked. William wants me to succeed. Because of this, he's fine with himself ceasing to exist if it means I get my life back. Disciplining us will do you no good. He made his choice. Why can't you accept that? Because you had him torn. Ren frowned, making Patri flinch. I met William myself, something I'm sure you know, and it was obvious how loyal he was to Julius. Yet no doubt he saw you as a precious friend he did not want to betray. You had him torn between you and Julius, not seeing how much it hurt him to betray the other. If you cared for him, if you saw him as a friend, I believe you wouldn't have made him go through such an awful and difficult choice, to betray his squad, fellow captains, and the very person who welcomed him with open arms. Are you then any better than the humans you claim to hate? If so, then you are without a doubt the biggest hypocrite here. Oof, Faye muttered lowly. Light magic, light swords of conviction, Patri declared. Several light swords formed around him before launching towards Julius and Ren. Ray. Before Julius could even finish speaking, Ren swiftly moved in a flash, with her sword unsheathed to reveal the blade's cut, and disappeared. To their shock, wah, Patri breathed. Patri, you have tainted your friendship with William and brought shame to my grandfather's name. Ren frowned as if scolding a child. You will face punishment for your actions. Patri Ched glanced at Ava, who nodded. Just as Ava unsheathed her own sword, Aesir suddenly appeared in front of her, punching her straight in the face with her steel magic-imbued right fist, thus launching the Blackette woman backwards. Steel magic, hard fist strike, such speed, Patri thought. I forgot just how fast that woman can be. He glanced between Ren and Julius, but I doubt she's faster than those two. With that, Aesir flew after Ava to keep her from recovering. Julius watched Aesir fly after Ava with a light smile. Aesir predicted that Ava would try to help Patri, Julius thought, so she eliminated that possibility by striking Ava before she could react. Impressive as always. After a few more seconds, he turned back to face Ren and Patri, with Ava's Ogratis out of the way. We can focus our attention on you, Julius told Patri. Humph, not like it matters, Patri retorted, his light swords forming around him again. I'm certain that you two outspeed her by a mile. So even if either of you disbarred that Silverette woman, either of you would beat her no problem. He grinned at Ren, then continued. Especially you. I'm not sure of your power level, but it's blatantly obvious that you outclassed that Silverette woman, along with the Wizard King. So why not just eliminate them? It'd be so much better without them. 'Cause they're my friends, even if they drive me crazy with their matchmaking schemes, Ren scoffed. Friends? Patry repeated coldly. I highly doubt that. Of course you wouldn't understand. A child like yourself isn't old enough, let alone mature enough to truly understand what truly matters, Ren replied, face snickering. I don't need to understand to know that you outclass them both, Patry remarked, outstretching his right hand towards Ren. Join me and forget them. Join me, so you can be with Licht. Forget these insignificant worms known as humans. They're nothing more than vermin that plague this world. Because of that, I'm their exterminator. If I join your side, I'll be disrespecting both my grandfather's and my great-uncle's dream. Ren frowned. I am the foundation of peace between humans and elves and will live for their dream. Patry said before smiling. A dream that died with them, Patry replied. And if you're the new embodiment of that pathetic dream, then I'll kill you. Once I kill you, that pathetic dream will no longer exist, just as it never should have to begin with. No, for the dream started with the union of my grandparents. Ren frowned. I am Ren Silvermillion Clover Umbra, granddaughter to your tribe leader Licht and his wife Tisha Silvermillion Clover, the sister to the first wizard King Lumiere Silvermillion Clover. In me is the blood of elves and humans saved by Seeker Swallowtail. In that case, Patry's initial smile turned into a dark smile. I'll simply find a way to prevent that dream from ever coming to fruition, further away from the three, but still visible to them. Aesir and Ava began their fight, sword clashing against liquefied steel lance. Ava just smiled in amusement. You're strong, as expected of the ruler of any kingdom like Clover, Ava remarked, but I wonder how long you'll last against me. We'll just have to see, won't we? Queen Aesir retorted. Now back in her Valkyrie armor, hence the usage of her liquefied steel lance, Ava did a flurry of slashes with her sword, which animated several magic slashes to fly towards the Steel War Princess, or rather, Queen now. Sword magic, origin flash rampage, steel magic, steel shooter, spinning like a ballerina. Several steel slashes launched out and towards the sword magic slashes, thus cutting them each into several pieces. Despite this, Ava countered by using her sword to slash through the remaining steel slashes. Eventually, Aesir stopped spinning like a ballerina and stared Ava down. You're incredibly strong, truly, Ava complimented. I can see why Vanica spoke highly of you to me. It gave me the interest to face you myself. That's not the real reason you're here, is it? Queen Aesir asked with a frown, ignoring the praise Ava gave her. And you're not really helping Patry, that much is obvious. Besides, since you took control of the Spade Kingdom that has lasted for at least 2 decades, you wouldn't leave unless it was for something important. Ava shrugged, her smile not leaving her face. You're just as perceptive and observant as your wizard king, Ava retorted. But yes, you're right, I wouldn't leave the Spade Kingdom like this unless I had something important to accomplish, and for once, I'm happy that 10 of the dark disciples that serve us Zogratises are here in Clover as prisoners. I'm also glad that Patry accepted my invitation to join him. She laughed. Thanks to Patry's little reveal, our suspicions have been confirmed. It's why Zenon and Dante are at the Eye of the Midnight Sun HQ. Her smile widened to be considered a dark smile. A shame Patry will no longer be required once the magic stones have been gained and placed into the stone tablet to enable all the dead elves to revive. She pointed her sword towards Aesir. I thank you and Patry from the bottom of my heart for allowing us to turn the Clover Kingdom into a bloodbath. Even if you know that William is necessary for my plan to bring the devils into this world, you really can't do a thing about it. A shadow fell over Aesir's purple eyes while Ava continued to laugh. You're right, Queen Aesir spoke. As of now, I'm not strong enough to stop your plan. However, Ava eventually stopped laughing and stared at Aesir. Huh? Ava frowned. Whatever do you mean by that? Aesir clenched her left hand into a fist, looking up at Ava, the shadow gone from her eyes. Her purple eyes flashed brightly for a few seconds. I'll find a way, Queen Aesir vowed, whether that be more training for myself and the Magic Knights, preventing you from capturing William, defeating you, or something else. Ava took Aesir's words in. After about a minute or two, Ava's lips curved into a smile. Persistent, I see, Ava spoke. That's fine. It's not like you can. Before she could finish, Aesir pierced her chest with her liquefied steel lance. Ava looked down at her chest, then back up at Aesir. Blood trickled out of Ava's mouth. But despite her injury, Ava's smile remained. I aimed for her heart. So why do I get the feeling that Aesir thought before she felt a shiver go down her spine? This is marionette magic, Rafaro. Like I thought, Aesir thought. Because of that spell, that means, if you were aiming for my heart, you missed. Ava smiled darkly. Thanks to marionette magic, Rafaro, I controlled the mana of your liquefied steel lance and thus moved your attack to pierce a different part of my chest. Marionette magic, Queen Asir breathed. So then that magic is my devil's magic attribute. Yes, Ava grinned, grabbing the steel lance in her chest and yanked it out. Thus Asir flew backwards from the force, but recovered quickly. While that happened, the wound Asir inflicted to Ava healed itself, and the blood that had trickled out of her mouth earlier also vanished, and as a reward for being able to get a hit on me, I'll use my devil's power. 2 small ram horns began to sprout out from the top of Ava's head, as well as a pair of medium-length wings sprouting out from her back. The devil contract mark on her forehead began to glow black, as well as her eyes' color changed from white to red, as well as the irises becoming slits. Hell, even the 2 scars, one on each side of her face on her cheeks, began to glow a black color. A cross with string wrapping around it appeared on her chest, to symbolize her devil's magic, devil power. 50. As soon as the transformation on Ava finished, black waves of magic power rippled outward from Ava's body. Asir flew out of the way to avoid getting hit by one of them, just in case the black magic power waves were dangerous. Such power, Asir thought. The black energy waves soon reached Ren, Julius, and Patry. The rooftops of the buildings around them, as well as below them, began to warp and crack before falling apart. Several people on the ground screamed in terror and began to run as fast as they could to avoid getting hit by the falling rooftop chunks. Patry's lips formed a dark smile on his face as he watched the humans run for cover. Yes, that's right. Run. Run, you filthy humans. Patry mocked. Devil mana. Is she using the devil power? Ren thought, paling slightly. We have to end this now. Julius thought. I so do enjoy this. Patry smiled. Now you can watch as your pathetic kingdom crumbles into nothing. Light magic, sky-rending flash, plus light magic, light swords of conviction. At Patry's command, several light beams shot towards Ren and Julius in conjunction with his light magic swords. Ren swiftly unsheathed her sword, moving swiftly to cut the beams of light, thus making them disappear. While Julius used time magic monozone, Chronostasis Grigora to bind the light magic swords. Patry ched in frustration at the two's immense speed. Impressive as your skills are, I've already seen how this battle will end, Julius remarked. It ends in your defeat, Patry.